All right, welcome everybody. Thanks again for joining. Tonight we will just quickly do a quick recap of what we've done so far, the journey so far. If you've been part of our community, you will see we've been working on the internship and we've handled a couple of projects. The first journey for us, if you're on this call, is because this is the cybersecurity program, the strategy side of cybersecurity, and we are saying many times, don't overthink it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go to the home front. If I come to your home today, it's fair to say you have multiple digital devices, right? That's fair. Your kid's laptop, your desktop, your own personal laptop, your fridge, your TV, everything is connected to the network. We can agree on that. In our case, we said we're going to take a hospital system. Hospitals, they take care of us, our health, right? And it's focused on patient safety and saving of lives. As simple as that, right? That's really the mandate of most of the hospital system. So because of that, we said there are two big devices for this hospital that they just brought on board, MRI machine and CT scan. These are sophisticated machines that help us wellness, they diagnose and check x-rays, check scans of body parts, right? Now, because these are sensitive information, we are saying if you are storing that kind of data about us, our personal health information, which is a huge monster, then it means it makes sense to do a risk assessment of those devices. Don't overthink it. I'm saying you're bringing a device that is storing our customers' information or patient information. It's only fair to say, are we assessing the risk this device is bringing? Is this device able to keep our data safe? Don't forget, if there is a breach, guess who is liable? You and I are still liable. So nobody cares. Your customer does not care. Oh, well, it's from a vendor. They don't care. You're liable. So we said, okay, we're going to do risk assessment. So week one, we went into the risk assessment of the different solutions out there. Week two, we went further to say, okay, let's get into benchmarking every one of security controls, safeguard we have in our business, in the hospital system this time around, with a leading industry framework. Some of you that are part of our community, you will notice I sent out a file today, information. There was a conference by the Critical Infrastructure Security Agency, which is a US government, North America body. My old role, I used to be head of delivery of a global consulting firm, and we work a lot with the CISA. They call them CISA, not the body for certification, the Critical Infrastructure Security Agency, right? So what they do is that for operation technology, so we're talking about our refineries, our transportation, our grid system, nuclear system, transportation, any utilities, any one of those critical infrastructure, they provide some safeguard. So they came up with 38 additional pointers today, just today, I mean, that they talked about. And I shared it with our community. I'll share more information later in the week. But it's just amazing because it covers, of course, remember, it's a guideline. It's not, you don't have to use it. But most times when you use such a guideline, it makes people hold you with some credibility. So it's just a good thing to have. So anyway, in our case, we selected one called the NIST cybersecurity framework. So week two, we went into that. We kind of benchmark our leading security controls with that framework. All right. So don't overthink it. I'm just saying, if you have 5 lists of things that should be done, all I'm saying is I'll go to my house and say, okay, am I following those 5 things? Boom. That's all I'm doing, really. It's a framework, it's a guideline. I don't have to use it. But ladies and gentlemen, always remember first, this is a business. All right. Don't forget that. No matter what we do, I don't care what company, it's a business first, right? The reason you have money to spend on cyber is because it's a business first. It's a business generating money to do everything we're doing, right? So because of that, it's equally important to make sure we have some best practice guideline for our business. Then week three, whether we agree or not, ladies and gentlemen, there's something we call vendors, all of us are vendors, right? Now we talk about third-party vendors. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not just third-party vendors anymore, right? Now we have fourth-party vendor. It's crazy. It's wild, wild west right now. And you know what? Some of us might not know. Sorry, the poster child of third-party risk is Target Store. It's the largest, one of the largest retail store in North America, right? So, and it was such an embarrassment. AC Servicing Company came to the organization to do routine maintenance, and as a result of that, the network was breached. So guess who is still liable? Target. So there's no excuse. If your third party screws up, then you are also in trouble. That's it. Fourth party is even complicating it now. It's going to be like the vendor of your vendor. Ew, that gets even more crazy. So the bottom line is we need to put oversight. So in our case, we said, okay, what are the key things we need to do? Vendor comparison. After vendor comparison, then we went into cloud to say, well, all of us can agree the big players in the cloud. Okay, let's see whether, so let me refresh us real quick. Can you all type some of the big players in the cloud out there? Let's see if you guys remember some of them. Some of the big players in the cloud. Okay, go ahead and type. Thank you, AWS. I love it. More. There's a few more. Google, Azure, Oracle. Now, remember again, ladies and gentlemen, it's trivial, it's vanity wise, but let me talk about it. It's important too. The way you pronounce those things also matter. Don't go to an interview and say Google, don't say Microsoft Azure. All right. If you say Azure, I get it, right? In my head, I'm just saying, listen, dude, you're supposed to be an industry expert and you're calling it Azure, right? So the way we pronounce it is also important. So just make sure you know what it means, and or how it's pronounced. Okay, very important also. So you're right, Google, AWS, Microsoft Azure. There is a lot of other ones open source out there that people use. But bottom line in our case was that we said we're going to do some comparison, and we selected the right vendor. Then towards the end, we build questionnaires. And ladies and gentlemen, all we are doing is that a vendor is coming to my business potentially. Are they following the right steps? Are they protecting my customers' information? And we have set of questionnaires. Yes, no, yes, no. If the answer is no to critical things, it's fair to say, hey, listen, guys, let's reconsider this, folks. It doesn't look right. That's fair enough, right? So that's really the gist about it. For those of us joining the Risk Rhino class, if you've not registered, go ahead and register. It's amazing because every one of these things we did in the internship, we are going to simulate it with an actual tool. That is amazing, really, because the intent of that is simple. With those tools, you can take ownership and say in an interview, anybody can, hey, I've used this tool. The beautiful thing is that most of those tools are very similar in nature. So they are very similar the way those tools are designed. So it's a very simple thing. All right. Then the final thing, which is today, everybody, this is going to be so cool. One thing you can take to the bank, every organization you go to, I can almost certainly guarantee you, they will do something called remediation. Don't overthink it. I'm saying you identify issue, how do we fix it? Now, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, identifying issue is not a big job. Any Tom, Dick, and Harry can tell me there's an issue. I don't care. Don't tell me all my issues. In fact, I know I have problems. You don't have to tell me. All right. And frankly, most organizations know they have problems, really. So you're not telling them something new. They may not know how to resolve the problem. They may not know the right strategy to go about it, to get funding, people, process, technology, and all that stuff. But I can bet you virtually everybody knows. I mean, come on. Even you and I know we have problems, right? We may not know how to fix it, but you don't need to tell me I have problems. Now, the value you bring to me is, all right, dude, these are the problem I noticed. Here are some proposed fixes. Now, take it to another level that will make me just go crazy, right? And say, listen, these are the proposed solution, and look at the potential timeline we could fix each of these problems. Ooh, that is so cool, because what that has done for me is you've made my decision process much more smooth, effective, straight to the point, and that is more valuable to leadership. As simple as that. Okay. So that's what I want us to think. Remember again, our program is mindset, really. It's a mindset. Hopefully I can make you think different a little bit, and it will show. I can guarantee you, in any sphere of life you find yourself, you're thinking around, so many things will just change, because it's just a mindset at the end of the day. So I introduced us to something called SBAR. Let me see who can quickly remind me, what does the SBAR stand for. Let's go quickly. SBAR. Let's see what you guys remember. SBAR. Let's see what you got real quick. I'll just do a 2 minutes rundown of the SBAR. Then we jump into the work today. Let's see. Situation. Love it. Thank you so much. Kunle, thank you. Kenny, awesome. Michael, thank you. Let's see more. What about B? Background. Thank you. Awonika, Jimo. Uche, thank you. Tokpe, Yeti. Ooh, you all are awesome. To me, thank you. All right, what about A? Assessment, thank you. And remediation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, remember again, trust me on this one. This is somebody's project. She's on this call. Actually, I just saw her too. This was one of the things they asked her to do in a project to kind of come up with some, a format with on the SBAR model. So I said, oh, okay. So this is something widely used now. Okay, we're going to use it. We're going to talk about it. So if you're in a project and somebody talks about it, it's not going to be awkward. It's not going to be weird. You know, oh, okay, this is just a thought process to break down how things are done. So tonight, let me just quickly show us real quick. We'll run through it real quick, then we jump into the lab. I'll do this for 3 minutes, so don't get mad because you guys' feedback is we should spend more time on lab. So I want to make sure I can honor that real quick. So I'll just jump on this for the purpose of folks that were not part of the overview earlier on last week. Okay, so let's talk about this real quick. And I just give a real life situation. The context of SBAR really is just, in our case, is to help us to identify security incidents and how to remediate it, right? You guys have said it all. Situation, background, assessment, recommendation. Started with, it started with the Air Force. Then, it was really widely adopted by the healthcare sector in general in the US. The situation summarizes the problem, background provides some context, assessment analyzes the situation. Then, of course, the overall recommendation at the end of the day helps us to suggest the next step. So it's as simple as that. In the world of cyber, so this is just a milestone and timeline, historic context around it. So you can read this. I already sent it to the group. So you guys have access to this. Just go ahead and read it, fun stuff. But bottom line, started with the Air Force, now mostly used by the healthcare folks, but widely globally adopted by people that want to make their process simple, because healthcare is one of the best in the world to triage issue, right? So if somebody comes in, a lot of people, we're going to triage and say, okay, this guy has shortness of breath, this guy has critical wound. We triage to know who we should bring in first. So think about it. If life and death issue are using that model, then it can be easily adopted to other issues. So that's the simple thing about it. Okay. All right, let's quickly go. It helps us to improve communication, effective communication, reduce errors in general. That's a big one also. And in our case, we're using for security incidents to allow us to have a very clear and simplistic way of identifying issues. As simple as that. Okay. All right. Look at the situation here. There was an attack identified in the morning, 8:15 a.m. in this case. And this attack is specifically an exploit in the vulnerability of a VPN software. And for those of us, most of us log in from home now. Believe it or not, some of these VPN vendors, they've been attacked recently also. So now nobody's spared. It's a big deal. So this was identified at 8:15 a.m., right? The background is just telling everybody, okay, someone tried to get into a customer's account without permission using computer with suspicious address. So this is just to give a context around the background in general. Then the assessment is actually, we go in specifically and start saying, okay, what is the impact and the risk on the overall customer information in general, or customer data? Then it will cover the breach itself, the system that was impacted, the data that was potentially impacted. So now we're getting into the details of the assessment in general. Then recommendation, of course, is not enough to tell me there was an attack. What do you recommend? Keep it a simplistic form at the end of the day too. That's the whole gist about it. So these are just some benefits, and this is just talking about a tool. In our case, we are going to use Risk Rhino. For those of us already registered for the Risk Rhino on Saturday, just going to be 2 hours every. You can go into the system now. All of those information has been uploaded, so you have access to sneak in before the class actually starts right now. So you can do that. I think it's already available. Okay, so that's the quick snapshot tonight. One of the things I want to make sure I do justice to is I'll show you guys. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, the way I look at it is simple. And I asked myself this question hardly in my mind. I said, if this were me on a project today, what will I do? That's the simple thing. Now, if you're on this call and you don't have access to this, I'll show you something real quick. If you don't have access to this, please just register to the, register to our internship program. You should have access to these documents, and please just go through it. It's a good read. Then go through the document in the learning management system. We're in week 4 already. Would have two more classes before we wrap up, but this is a good read. It will give you some more context. I'm not going to go into all the details because most of the information are already there. But what I will show you right now is, let me go to one of the documents I just shared in the group. Is a group assignment I want us to work on tonight. Okay, let me show you the document real quick. And we're going to work as a group. Please make it fun. It's one of the easiest way to work. This is what I would do. That's what I'm just saying. I don't know about you all. You know, you guys might be so smart. Your brain is so wired to know everything. But ladies and gentlemen, I will go with help with AI. Okay. I don't know what planet you are in. If you are not using AI tools to support your work and your thinking, um, you're working at a disadvantage. I guarantee you that. That's the new normal. Okay. So this is what's going to happen. You get to an organization, they have all this list of issues identified. Okay. They have tons of issues. I can guarantee you every organization will have tons of issues. Some of them are aging, maybe the last 60 days. Some of them actually have seen only 3 years that they have issues they've not resolved. So let's be reasonable and say, okay, let's say you have issues not resolved for 6 months to 1 year. All right. So they might say, well, your leadership can say, can you help us develop like an S-bar to break it down for us? So that's what happened. In our case, look at what happened. The first one, this is, like I said, this is a popular thing that happened in Microsoft. All right. So what I would do is I would use AI model personally if I were to do this. And I'll just click this and ask the AI model to generate an S-bar model based on this issue identified. Look at another issue. This is a system that we realized that there was an absence of vulnerability scan. Look at it like your antivirus, right? Scanning for potential viruses or vulnerability. So there was no vulnerability scan in this device, smart manufacturing device. So that's the issue. I'm just going to tell AI, this is the issue. Break it down in S-bar for me. And ladies and gentlemen, you will see the freaking magic it will do. Okay. So I'll do it real quick. Then I'm going to make us work as a group, as a team. So let's do one. So let me just, share what I would do. Again, you guys are smart cookies. You may say, well, you're too smart. You don't do AI for your own business. God bless your heart. I'm not going to do that. It will be torture for my team to tell you not to do it because what will happen is others will do it. And honestly, you would be running at a deficit and they will build trust equity with their own, you know, um, leadership, and it will be a shame because somebody will just eat your lunch, to be honest. So let me quickly show you what I would do. Okay, let me quickly show you what I would do, and do your magic. So this is what I would do. So all I did was I just came here to AI and said, okay, this is the task. I said utilize SBAR to analyze blah blah. So I would just say this is the okay. I would just say yeah. What I would just do is I'll just this, then I'll just come here. You can just say, all right, let me just put it there. I'll say create SBAR model based on the following noted issue. Then um, I'll delete all this. Now, one thing I'll challenge everybody, please always remember AI is not our brain. It's a look at AI as your employee helping you to work. That's all. We need to still prompt. The beautiful thing is that it will save us 80-90% of time, but don't suspend your brain. Still be thoughtful and take 1 minute or 2 minutes to reward things. If you send me documents and I notice you are sloppy, you didn't reward things, I would know because I would definitely know. I will know. And your leadership that are savvy would know. So be careful, okay? Take 2 minutes. I guarantee you, mostly 5 minutes, you'll be fine. But be thoughtful. Don't just throw stuff without thinking. Don't do that, please, okay? So take a second and just look and say, okay. And we have a program later as part of our mentorship program. I'll teach you effective, and I'm telling you some of the best ways in the world you can ever think about prompting things to be so successful in so many fields. We'll get into that later down the road, early next year and all that. But for now, let's just have fun. All right, look at this, everybody. So let me just say yes. Look at what's going to happen. This thing broke it down: situation, background, assessment, requirement, and copy it, ladies and gentlemen. Half of 80% of your work is done. The only thing you now do is just copy and paste it somewhere, reward it in accordance to the way your own business does their own thing in your organization. Okay, we can do that. So in our class on Saturday, we would play with this also, then put it um, in the AI, in the risk rhino solution also as we progress. Okay. And I think we voted already, so we might have would have the 1 hour session after the risk rhino, I believe, and more information to come. But this is what I want us to do this night. If this makes sense, give me thumbs up, everybody, because you have 2 assignments. I sent the document to you already. If you're not in the group, let me see if I can post it to this chat. I've posted 2 documents to us all. Okay, so we get it right. Let me post the 2 documents here. Hopefully we can. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry, I can't post it for some weird reason. So we just have to work as a team. So please do me a favor, everybody. Quickly, you're going to work as a team, and the team would be just, please let me challenge you. Don't leave. Once I put us in a group, in about 5 seconds, you hear quiet, then you will just see 5 people in the group. You can talk. Don't miss this opportunity to talk with others and brainstorm and just go through these documents together. Please don't run away from it. It's just smart, really. Just use it as a way to kind of prepare yourself. And guess what? Most of us, we don't know each other. So it's not like I would hold you or think you're not smart. No. And this is our safe space. Use it well. Let's just talk. Then after 25 minutes or 20 minutes, I'll just bring us back. Then assign one person to just talk. Not everybody will be able to present. We'll present, like, have a few people just present and have fun doing it. Make sure you just have fun, learn how to use it, learn from everybody else, and let's make it the best time ever. All right, so I'm going to put us back in the chat real quick. Let's do that right now. Okay. Then please, if you don't mind, join our channel, join our Instagram page. I'll post those later, and I'll put some information to the group. But let me quickly put us on the group and start working, folks. Just have fun. Let's see. So, like I said, you'll see quite a number of us. You'll be 5 in a group. Don't leave the group. Have fun. Leverage this opportunity. Life is funny. You never know. Um, the universe can smile to you and I, and you'll be in this position in the next 2 months. I've seen it over and over again. So leverage us. Let's learn together. All right. Have fun. I'll see you back in the next 20, 25 minutes. Okay. Let's go. All right, welcome back, everybody. All right, I'll be the first to admit I know ideally we can spend a lot of time. So just indulge us, pardon us. We'll just give room for maybe two people to just present and talk about what the experience is. One thing I would challenge everybody is this, ladies and gentlemen, you know, oh, I can see what you're saying, Sanjay, let's connect. Oh, sorry, guys, I'm sorry. I know we can't, just because of time, we can't just accommodate everybody at the same time. But like you said, in the future, we'll make sure we bake into our programs. Our next internship, we'll try and make it like 2 hours for working sessions. So we'll have more time to really work on those sessions. So those are feedback we'll learn from for sure. But for tonight, let's take three people, only Michael, Aki, and Daniel. Everybody else, apologies. But do me a favor, if you have anything you want to share, just copy and paste it in the group and others can pick it up from there. So let's start with Michael. And, ladies and gentlemen, one thing I noticed, a lot of us, the concern is, oh, we are using the same prompt. The odds of having 200 and something people work on the same project is not going to happen, right? So, and the reality is that I can bet you for 200 and something of us, we can make our prompts different, guaranteed. Don't forget the work is to spend time and actually get into the details of what you're doing. That's the deal. For example, let me give you a practical example. So if I'm working for an insurance company, I'm going to tell you, and come to our AI class. It's really going to change your life professionally. Your thinking. Look at it this way: if I say, okay, simulate an AI, simulate a prompt that would focus on an insurance company that has three subsidiaries, one based in North America, or let's say two in North America, Canada, US, another one in Asia, another one in Europe. So I'm kind of making the prompt unique to my business need without necessarily mentioning my business. But talking about the industry vertical and the specific of that need will make your prompt more unique to your environment. So I don't know your environment. None of us know your environment yet, right? But I can bet you if you prompt it specific to your environment, it will align to that environment. Okay. So I know it will not be the same thing, but for the purpose of our exercise, we don't have a unique environment. So that's why it's a little bit different. All right, Michael, your show. Let's go real quick. Go ahead, Michael.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you, Michael.
Okay. Because of time considerations, we'll try to make it brief.
Okay, sure.
And for the situation, what we came up with was that operational service and the smart manufacturing system lack essential vulnerability scans.
Okay.
And for background, we came up with the organization neglects periodic vulnerability assessments, leaving room for potential exploitation by malicious actors. And for assessment, it was the absence of this scan poses a notable security risk, compromising the organization's awareness of vulnerabilities. This gap could lead to unauthorized access, data breaches, and disruptions in critical production processes. And the recommendation was to implement regular vulnerability scans for operational servers to proactively identify and address potential threats.
Got it.
This step is crucial for reducing the risk of unauthorized access, data breaches, and disruptions in production. We went further to say that a comprehensive vulnerability management program is essential for a more secure, smart manufacturing system, safeguarding against financial losses and preserving the organization's reputation. So while we were doing this, we had to factor in ethical considerations, be careful of the information we're imputing in the AI model so we don't disclose confidential company information while doing it. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. That was good, good thinking, everybody. In real life, my hope is your organization would have their own AI model, so you're not too worried. But that's one of the biggest concerns in the industry right now: AI models and potential compromise of PHI, PII, anything confidential. So that's one of the biggest challenge right now. But there are regulations in play. People are trying to figure out an oversight body to, or rules or regulation to kind of guide the industry on how to navigate that. All right. So apology one more time. I'm going to take one more person, Ifetayo, and everybody else. You are awesome. Thank you for being part of it. But let's take one more person, Ifetayo. Please go ahead. Sorry, Daniel. You're also, I apologize. I can't, we just have limited time. Sorry. Go ahead, Ifetayo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hakim. Thank you very much for having us. So I'm just briefly going to talk about, because of time, the assignment, the tax one. So one of the notable things we did was that in our group was that we used the same prompt you used as an example for us in the class, and we're not getting what we were supposed to be getting. There were some certain things left out. So one of the group member suggested that we should remodify the prompt.
Yeah.
And we were like, we only had it as act as a GRC expert.
Yep.
And create, just in order not to waste our time. So, and we're able to get a very comprehensive and a very detailed SBI, model for the assignment. So just like the normal thing, I don't want to go through it again, but what I just want to highlight is that that prompting is quite important as well.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And I agree with that, Ifetayo, because at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, the prompting really will make the difference for us. But even if we don't learn how to modify prompt, to be honest, compared to before, 90% of our work is already done. So the rest is just to use our brain power to modify it, to customize it to our own business, really. So thank you once again, everybody. It's a delight to be part of your story. And just remember, folks, impossible is nothing. Just keep pushing. Sometimes it might look like you're not making progress, but believe it or not, the small incremental progresses make a world of difference. Keep showing up, keep adding value to yourself, and always impact one person at a time. Thank you, everybody. God bless. And I'll communicate on the on our channel. Look out for us. We will probably meet on Saturday. Then I think there was a voting we did. I'll check what the final result was, and I'll let us know our next meeting. But just keep showing up. Let's have fun. Learn from each other. I'll bring some guests as we progress, and we'll figure out a way to keep this going for us all. Thank you, everybody. God bless. Talk to you all soon. Bye-bye. Thanks, everybody.